finishing her degree. Her congressional opponent, Mike Gallagher, did not respond to the organization's request for a statement of support.
We know that there is going to be a record increase in number of people voting by mail because they don't feel safe during a pandemic to go out and vote in person. And so we know it's going to be even more important that we have the capacity to process those ballots in a timely fashion.
All of this comes on the first day of the Postmaster General's Senate testimony. DeJoy says that he is suspending any operational changes that began in order to avoid the perception of election interference.
What we're encouraged by is that the Senate and the House are investigating, so we'll know for sure whether those things have been stopped. And then we encourage the House and Senate to take action to reverse those stoppages and those cuts to the post office.
The United States Postal Service did not respond to our request for comment. Reporting from Green Bay, Rachel Hopmeyer, NBC 26.
Organizers reached out to Northeast Wisconsin's congressional representatives looking for support for what they say is a nonpartisan issue. Senator Baldwin sent a statement of support to the organizers during the rally. Senator Ron Johnson and Representative Mike Gallagher did not return for comment. Organizers behind the Save the Post Office are rallying tomorrow morning in Appleton as well.
We've had a few showers and storms over parts of our area earlier this evening, some of which were on the severe side, but now we're seeing more steadier rains moving in, and most of the activity has been west of the Fox Valley or up towards the Northwoods, but we're seeing this cluster of storms and showers moving down to the south. So this is some beneficial news. We have been dry and we need the rainfall. We don't need heavy downpours, but this is some welcoming rain that's heading in this way. Now, on and off chance of showers and storms will remain as we go into the next couple of days. As for tonight, we'll see overnight lows in the mid-60s.
All right, thank you, Gino. The Army Corps of Engineers estimates Lake Michigan is 4 inches higher than this time last year. But even with the rising waters, many farmers are waiting for more rain. In the Green Bay area, NBC 26 meteorologists estimate we haven't seen a substantial rain since July 15th. On top of that, precipitation totals still have to reach another 1.5 inches to hit our monthly average. And that's a reality many farmers are taking note of.
We see a lot of 30% chances of showers here in the next week or 10 days, and that's not a very good chance. And the month of August is pretty critical for corn and soybean production because you're making grain, so it's important for yields.
Typically, alfalfa is harvested in early September, and many farmers rely on good weather, including some rain in August, for their soybean crops. Some relief for people worried about having their utilities disconnected. The Public Service Commission of Wisconsin extended its moratorium through October 1st. That means Wisconsin utility companies are not allowed to disconnect customers who are falling behind on their payments. PSC members in favor of the move say they're concerned that the pandemic hasn't improved and many people are still out of work.
Well, a recall alert now for parents over a popular summer toy, as Hasbro is recalling more than 52,000 Super Soaker squirt guns sold at Target due to lead concerns. The company says the stickers on the XP20 and the XP30 models have lead levels in the ink that exceed levels allowed by federal rules. Hasbro is offering full refunds.
A warning today. The state health department saying today the combination of the flu alongside COVID-19 could strain Wisconsin hospitals.
We want to encourage as many people as possible to get vaccinated for flu as soon as possible so that we are really able to spend our resources and our focus on COVID.
The Centers for Disease Control announced today it has ordered an additional 9 million adult doses of flu vaccine and another 2 million pediatric doses.
And the Department of Health Services Secretary-designee Andrea Palm, whom you heard from there, also discussed masks. She says if people continue to wear masks and follow social distancing guidelines, state health officials do expect our COVID-19 cases to drop. When asked today if the statewide mask mandate has made an impact yet, she said it's too early to tell.
And so I think it's probably just a little bit too early to say anything definitively, but we do certainly anticipate it having a positive effect on our case numbers moving forward.
Today, the state reported about 825 new cases. This is the 4th straight day that number has gone up, but our 7-day average has still been on a general downward trend for about a month. One more person was reported as having died.
To the rebound now. Doctors across the country are seeing a surge in sick patients, not from COVID-19, but from people delaying routine preventative checkups. Chris Conti takes a closer look at why putting off that regular doctor's appointment could create long-term health issues.
Where patients could once be found, there is a lot of silence these days, as COVID-19 has kept countless Americans at home for fear of contracting the virus.
A huge piece of what we do, especially in primary care, is prevention, not reaction.
As a primary care doctor at Vanderbilt University, Dr. John Scott can understand why people were initially delaying preventative care back in the spring. But now, many of the patients he's seeing are sicker, having delayed routine care for months.
We're going to have to pay that bill later, and the cost is going to be much greater.
What worries Dr. Scott the most? A 50% drop-off in cancer screenings across the country. With Americans avoiding the doctor, they're putting off breast, colon, and cervical cancer screenings.
The impact of that is significant as we think about the benefit of catching cancer at an early stage.
Nearly a third of Americans have put off health care during COVID-19, which is why physicians nationwide are urging people to schedule that regular checkup sooner rather than later.
Healthcare is a marathon, and you want to put the finish line as far out as possible. So if we start skipping steps along the way, then we're not going to get to the finish line that we want.
And according to the CDC, 40% of Americans are struggling with mental health issues right now, something doctors would regularly screen for at most checkups.
We're looking to intervene at every opportunity for that.
And so you're missing those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And since it could be months or even years before the pandemic is over, Dr. Scott wants people to at least consider making that trip to the doctor.
It's safe to return. It's safer to return than not. When we look at these long-term issues, there's medical care that needs to occur.
I'm Chris Conti reporting.
And still ahead for us here on NBC 26 News at 10. If you're looking for something new to do this weekend, well, after being closed for months, some local movie theaters reopened their doors this weekend. Call it Back to the Future. Plus, local artists step outside their comfort zone and into the streets of downtown Appleton. We show you on the way.
And now your weather with meteorologist Gino Recchia.
Temperatures in the 80s and 90s across the Midwest. Nothing like what we should be seeing for this time of year, which is the mid and upper 70s. And it doesn't look like we're seeing that anytime soon. Another beautiful start to our day. Lots of clear skies, some high-level cirrus clouds beginning to roll in during the afternoon. But up to the Northwoods, it was a bit of a different story. Showers and storms have been billowing and continue into the evening hours as we speak. You can see this line of clustered showers and storms advancing down to the south, and they are weakening, which is good news. There were some severe thunderstorm warnings earlier in the day with some gusty winds and some hail reported with some of these storms. But this line is breaking apart as it advances down to the south. We also have a little bit of a cluster of showers and storms off towards the west. Here are a few of the reports, some hail reports, brief heavy downpours, gusty winds, and even a funnel cloud north of Rhinelander. Now off towards the west, there's a little bit of this line that's advancing eastward. We'll take any rain we can get. We're not extremely dry, but we're kind of near that abnormally dry conditions with the grass starting to turn a little bit yellow out there. The crops, the farmers, they're wanting the rain. We have a marginal risk for severe weather, and that was the case earlier today for some of the storms up into the UP. Tomorrow, we'll see the shift of storms move down to the south, and we do have a slim chance of some hail and gusty winds as our primary threat. So as we go into the overnight, the scattered showers and storms will persist on and off as we get into the morning tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Breaking into some sunshine by the afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, but we will see a few showers and storms re-energize into the atmosphere. And then as we get into tomorrow night, skies clear, some patchy fog developing. As we get into Sunday afternoon, a chance of a few pop-up showers and storms once again will happen. Over the next 7 days, some of the forecast models spreading from anywhere a quarter to over 2 inches of rainfall. And that's what happens when you have thunderstorms. It ends up being very sporadic with the rainfall totals. If you get under the downpours, you're lucky. It is 73 Green Bay, El Canto. We're down to 70 in Mountain, 73 in Princeton. We'll see an overnight low temperature in the mid-60s. Light wind out of the southwest at about 5. Tomorrow we'll climb up to a high of 87, another warm and humid day. The humidity will stay as well going into the rest of the weekend. 86 for your Sunday. Chance of storms once again on Monday, high of 87. It looks like we get a brief dry day on Wednesday, high of 85, and then some isolated showers and storms return by Thursday and Friday.
Pretty calm weather overall, and we need a little bit of rain, but it's nothing like the weather they saw in Iowa. A new video shows the moments last week's powerful windstorm in Iowa ripped the roof off of a business while the owner was inside.
Oh my God!
The owner recorded that himself. Do not try that at home. The man behind the camera sheltered inside a bathroom as the wind blew apart his shop. He was not hurt, incredibly, but the building was destroyed.
Glad he wasn't hurt, the pure power of Mother Nature. Well, new at 10 now, we take you to a colorful competition in Appleton. Hear artists' favorite part of the fun. It's coming up next.
One thing many of us have missed during the pandemic, a trip to the movies. But a little bit of normalcy has been restored. Today, Marcus Theaters reopened another 35 theaters, including Bay Park Cinema. Green Bay East Cinema opens next week. Masks are required, and you are encouraged to buy tickets online as well as order food through the app. There is a mix of classic content plus new movie releases. Local artists are leaving the studio behind and taking their brush and canvas to the streets of downtown Appleton. The first annual plein air style paint out competition is underway on College Avenue. Similar to the annual Chalk Walk event, the paint out artists can choose to be in it to win it or paint just to have fun. And starting next week, you can visit Appleton's downtown Facebook page to vote for your favorite piece. Judges will select the winner of the $500 grand prize.
Part of what's so great about the arts in general is watching that creation happen. So this is a way that the community can come out and see these artists actually create their work, not just view the finished product, but actually see them in action creating.
All of the paintings from today's event will be on the Appleton Downtown Facebook page. There's also an online auction, and all of that money goes back to the artists.